you get punished against these types of teams.
Absolutely. So goals in all the games in this midweek then in the Premier League. Some very significant results. Manchester United kept their form going, of course. Another couple of goals for Bruno Fernandes on Tuesday in that 3-0 win at Brighton. 4 for Arsenal at the Emirates on Wednesday. More damage done to Bournemouth's survival hopes. 4-1 at home. They lost to Newcastle. At Leicester, again, a setback for their Champions League chase. 2-1 they lost at Goodison to Everton. Huge result for West Ham to come from behind and beat Chelsea 3-2. And then earlier today, of course, 3-1 to Sheffield United. Their first win of the restart. More problems for Jose Mourinho and Tottenham. And the champions already, of course, guaranteed, but they have been beaten 4-0 by Manchester City. And I mentioned the damaging defeat for Bournemouth. They go to Manchester United next. They're still a point from safety. So too are Aston Villa. And look what it's done to West Ham. 3 points above the drop zone now after that win against Chelsea, and with a better goal difference. So for what it's worth, it's a 20-point lead now between Liverpool and City, but below the top two, it is getting fascinating. Leicester just 1 clear of Chelsea, who are 2 clear of United and Wolves in the chase for those Champions League places. Remember, 7th, maybe even 8th could be Europa League. They are currently occupied by Sheffield United and by Arsenal. Liverpool striker Robbie Fowler. Let's get the views of the Liverpool manager. Here's Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen, you said before the game we're prepared as well as we can. We won't know until it starts how it will turn out. What did you make of it and the way the game panned out?
I think I understood your question in that manner that you were not sure how much it means to us, this game, or how much we are. What did you mean with the question when you asked for preparation?
Pre-match, you said. Look,
I know.
We're all human beings.
Exactly.
We won't know.
But that was more. I understood it like attitude-wise. Are we really? Is the game important to us? How will we go? And I saw a brilliant attitude. I saw boys who were fighting with all they have. We didn't behave like somebody who became chairman a week ago. So like it's not important. So that was all good. We lacked fluidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's for sure. And in some situations, 50-50, they were quicker than us in mind. That's true as well, and that's what they use. Then the pitch becomes big immediately. So first goal, we leave Joe felt like 5 minutes alone in a challenge with Sterling. There must be a second player. I think before the second goal we lose the ball. The third goal could have been which makes no sense, but can happen. But just against City, you have then massive problems. They used their chances, not all, but a lot, and we didn't. So if City was a 100% deserved winner, of course, today, but like a 5-3 or something like that, I would have been possible as well. So it doesn't make the things better. But now it's a 4-0, and we have to take that, and we do that, and that's it.
At 0-0, did you have decent chances yourself?
You ask me? Why you ask me if we had decent chances?
No, do you think you had decent chances at 0-0?
We had moments. But you watch a game completely calm. Why you ask me if we had decent chances? It makes no sense, this question. We have decent chances, ask me about them. So we had chances. We were in situations. Sadio Mane was in the box. We didn't use them, that's true. Maybe they were not clear enough in moments and stuff, but we had moments where we could have scored, and we didn't. So there was the situation with Ederson. It's a good moment for us. The goalie comes out, takes full risk. He's lucky in this situation. So maybe, and these kind of things, we had them, but for sure not exactly as often enough. And how always in football, if you don't score, it's difficult to mention chances, obviously, because then everybody forgets them immediately. Even I forget them, obviously, and that's the situation. But it's all okay. It's not nice. It's not what we wanted. But I wanted to see that we have really the right attitude, and I saw that, and with that I'm fine, and the result we have to take.
In any way, do you have to put it in perspective at all? The fact that, as we said before the game, you saw the attitude you want, you saw the things you wanted, but you've just won the title. Do you have to apply perspective at all?
Sorry?
Do you have to apply perspective at all?
What does that mean? I don't understand the English now, sorry. What does it mean? Do we have to?
In terms of perspective, you've just won the title. You said they were quicker in certain areas yourself. You were happy with the attitude of your players tonight.
If you want to lead this story in the direction that we were not here we were not focused on that game, then do it. So that's, you ask a second time now. When I speak about attitude, I like my team, how they set it up. I said that, and I thought it's clear. If you go again with that, I think we proved that point, and we proved as well that City is an unbelievable good team. So isn't it nice that in this league another team can be champion even when City is around and plays this kind of football, is able to play this kind of football? That's a surprise as well.
I was about to say, you also have to give credit for how well City played tonight.
I forgot that, maybe. Sorry. Yes, I said it, but I said it. City is outstanding. I said that. I have absolutely to give credit. By the way, I do that always because they are incredible. I saw City's season. I didn't see a bad game. Honestly, even when they lost, they still played really good football. But in the end, the situation is like it is.
Thank you, Jürgen.
Welcome.
Raheem, can you put in perspective that thumping victory over the new champions?
Yeah, they've been brilliant all year. They've been brilliant all year. We knew we had to come out there strong. We wanted to, have a good game against them. I thought we started really well. And yeah, credit to the boys today.
What was the motivation tonight for City?
We knew we were behind. We knew we, disappointed at times this season. We lost some games that we know we shouldn't have lost. And, we had a test today against the current champions to make a point, and I thought we done brilliant today.
Does that, as you say, you make a point, does that restore a bit of pride? Is that one in the bank for you, as it were?
Yeah, I just think it's one of those ones, next season, I think, the manager said we go out here and try to do our best, and, next season starts today, and I think we done well.
You won a penalty, you scored one. Disappointed that you get credited with two?
I won a penalty and scored two.
You're not accepting the decision?
No, joking. The most important thing, we got the win, and I'm just really happy with that.
Also as well, Pep Guardiola's been talking about a changing of the guard at Manchester City, senior players leaving. How much do you feel, including yourself, there is talent here at an age where you can take those legends' places?
Yeah, it's a team that's evolving, it's a team that's changing all the time. And the players that are coming through, someone like Phil, you can see the maturity he's playing with. I think he's only 20, and he's playing like he's been in the first team for nearly 8 years or something like that. He's a credit to himself, and every day comes in, every opportunity I've seen him get, he starts, he does brilliantly. So I think in the future we got some great players coming through.
How much will tonight's victory help you in the other competitions that you remain in?
Yeah, we've got the FA Cup and the Champions League, and these Premier League games are leading up to that. We need to finish strong, and that will only help us in the semis and against Real Madrid and in the Champions League.
Well done tonight, Raheem. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Interesting from Raheem Sterling. Next season starts today, was his message. Let's bring in Macca and Michael's former Liverpool teammate, Robbie Fowler, who was watching with interest at home. I bet you weren't expecting that, Robbie. What did you make of the game?
Well, look, I wouldn't go as far as saying it was an embarrassing performance. I think it was a disappointing performance. I think Raheem was saying I think he thought City started well. I thought Liverpool started 20, 25 minutes. They were as good as anyone on the day. But goals win games, and obviously once De Bruyne started playing, I mean, he's just different class, isn't he? And obviously the final third was where the game's won. I think they looked more clinical, more precise, whereas Liverpool seemed to huff and puff in the final third. So yeah, it was a disappointing night for Liverpool.
Disappointing, but understandable. I mean, the boys have been talking about fine lines when you've already won the trophy. Is it human nature that there's a tiny little something missing?
Well, look, I mean, it's obviously a valid point, but, Liverpool go into the game and look, I think Jürgen played a strong team because obviously he wanted to go there and try and get a good result. But look, you can't legislate for the performance from City. City were, for 60, 65 minutes, they were brilliant. Every time they went forward, he looked as though he can carve Liverpool open. Defensively, Liverpool went at it. This is a team who have conceded 21 goals prior to tonight. But every time they looked vulnerable every time City were coming at them, and that's to do with the class and the quality that City have got. It is just, I think, an all-round disappointing night. Understandable in terms of where Liverpool are and what they've achieved so far. But look, I don't think they would have went to City, and just sort of roll over. And I think they wanted to go there and put in a great performance and just say to them, look, this is why we're champions. It just wasn't to be.
Robbie, there was some uncharacteristic performances, I think, in the Liverpool team today. Someone like Andy Robinson, for example, has been brilliant all season, but made so many mistakes. What would you put that down to? Those individual sort of mistakes that you never really see?
No, look, I think it's obviously the case, and Michael, and I think Steve was alluding to it then. I think with the week Liverpool had, and there's been obviously lots of pressure lifted. Obviously getting that, the champion, the Premiership home. Liverpool maybe have had maybe 1 or 2 nights extra out, and I think you can only put that down to Andy Robertson's performance because he's been phenomenal all year. He really has. Tonight wasn't a good, but what I will say, I thought Foden was very, very good against him as well, and I think that was a real good performance from him. And when you are up against players like that, you can't feel as though you have a good game all the time.
Robbie, do you think a defeat like that will make Jurgen Klopp, look at the transfer market?
Look, I wouldn't get carried away just obviously because of that, obviously your poor performance and that result. Look, as I said, it's disappointing. But look, he knows what his players are. He knows what they're capable of. And look, I would be amazed if he's not looking at the transfer window anyway, just for players, because we know as players ourselves, if you've got aspirations of winning leagues, then you've got to go and win. You've got to go sign players. You've got to go and bring in good players. Now, just because you've won that Premier League, it doesn't really matter that, it doesn't seem to say, well, listen, we're happy with our squad. I think you've always got to grow. When you think of Man City, obviously they're going to lose Silva. Aguero's maybe coming towards the twilight of his career. They've lost Sané. They've lost Silva. Mendy's probably not reliable because of obviously the injury. So they're going to go out and sign players. But any time you want to stay at the top, you've got to bring players in. I really believe that, because if you're not, the teams behind you are going to bring players in, so they want to move forward. And if you're not signing players, you're not necessarily standing still. I think you might be going backwards.
But I'm interested because quite a lot of Liverpool fans are saying we need another striker. What happens if one of those front three get injured or suspended? But I just wonder. We were having a laugh the other night with yourself and Michael and Emil Heskey, etc. Nicolas Anelka was with you. If you were a striker at the moment, Robbie, and Jurgen Klopp wanted to sign you, then you're not going to start a lot of games, are you, with those front three? How difficult recruitment to try and strengthen that area is that?
Well, look, it's up to the players to go out there and prove to the manager that, look, it's up to you to, if you want to get picked, you have to go and put in those performances. I think what you just said there, Steve, as well, you can throw that, you can throw that stick at lots of clubs. You look at, City with Aguero. Jesus, he's obviously not a bad player, but he's not in the calibre of Aguero. You look at defensively, you got Garcia and Otamendi. There's players there. So I think City needs to get players in cover as well. So yeah, I think that's for every top club. I think you've got to have players. You've got to have players who are going to try and put a marker down and say to the manager, say to the club, say to all the fans, well, look, I'm here to sort of win my place, but it's up to the player to go out and do that.
It will be fascinating. Robbie, as always, great to talk to you.
Cheers,
Thank you very much indeed. Good to see
fellas.
you.
Thank you.